I have a newborn child that she does not know about.
And did he tell her at that moment? No, he did not. So The Never Met season 2. I don't know if you guys have watched season 1 already, but I would suggest seeing it. I mean, you know, it definitely has its quirks here and there, has its drama, but I'm gonna let you know, like, there was really no couple I was really rooting for. I think there was maybe one. Anyway, let's get into this Never Met season 2. So first we have Charlie, who's 34, and Jared, who's 32. They've been dating for, I believe, 4.5 years now. It said that they actually went to the same high school together, but they obviously didn't know each other. And, you know, they're on Facebook or whatever, and obviously you see mutual friends, and they slid in the messages and DMs, and that's how, you know, their connection ended up coming about. We do find out that Charlie has a secret that she's been keeping from Jared, and it's pretty much that she was 8 months pregnant during the casting tape, which is crazy. Like, that's crazy. Like, during casting, she was 8 months pregnant.
I am 8 months pregnant.
Like, what? Anyway, on to the next couple. We have Alexis, who is 47, and Chris, who is, I want to say 34, 35, something like that. They've been dating for about a year.
I told him to send me a pic, and we took off from there.
She doesn't do older guys because, you know, she goes for the younger guys. She has a more younger spirit, which I can definitely tell from her personality, which, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's a good thing, but, you know, we'll get more into that later. Then we got Kiki, who's 29, and Brandon, who's 28. I believe they said they hadn't met because I think Kiki was feeling super insecure about herself because she's a BBW, and she's been feeling insecure about her body and this and that, but it's obvious, like, on the Zoom dates, on the, you know, whenever they're having these FaceTimes, it's obvious he can tell, you know, who she is and what she looks like. But
I'm a bigger girl, so, you know, I do carry that insecurity with me.
Then we got Tatiana, who's 31, and then, y'all, I can't with these names. What's his name? Clavassier. Clavassier. Yes, that's what I said. Clavassier. Sounds like Clavassier. Yes. Pastor Clavassier. Yes. His name is Clavassier. He's 28. Tatiana 31.
I'm in a relationship with Clavassier, but I'll call him Clay. We met on Instagram.
I believe, I think they were dating for 5 months. I can't remember. Anyway, just side note, they actually showed some pictures of Clavassier, and I was like, he don't look like that now. I'm sorry, but he looks like it, but he don't look like it. So his face is still the same. It's just in the photos, this man had like a 6-pack, like an Ursher 6-pack. And, you know, fast forward to them meeting, I'm like, okay, that 6-pack gone. No, I'm not body shaming at all. I was just like, hold on, he look a little different. He gained a little weight, but okay. And we also know that her red flag is dishonesty. I remember her saying that. So just remember that, put a pin in that. Then we got Brittany, who's 40, and Ty, who's 38. And Ty is kind of like an alpha male, and Brittany likes that. She also expressed that it's important for the guy that she's dating to accept her 3-year-old, which makes sense. There's also Alicia, who's 36, and Erwin, who is, he's 44. Yeah, he's older than her. He's 44, and they've been dating for like 5 months. She discloses, you know, on the show that she has this autoimmune disease where she lives a more healthier lifestyle. So that means like physically, mentally, spiritually. She's very particular about who she lives in her space, doesn't drink, and she's ready to be a wife. Okay, she's ready to get that ring.
My name is Alicia. I live in Pennsylvania. I'm 36 years old.
And so during this first episode, it's funny because all the girls show up to the house, they all meet each other, but no guys are there. And then all of a sudden, this one guy shows up, Cinco. I was gonna say he's 30 or 31. He shows up, he's the only guy. And it's obvious none of the girls are who he's been dating. He's been dating this girl named Jay, who I believe is 30, and she's not there. So like, all the girls are there except for her, and then he just kind of shows up, which is, you know, it causes a little confusion or whatever.
All of us girls were vibing and getting to know each other and having a good time. And then all of a sudden, this guy walks in the door. Who is this person?
But we learned that Cinco and Jay, they've been dating for 5 months. She's a tall girl, and I think they have this whole thing about, she thinks that he was lying about him being 6'7", and she's like, oh no, you're more like 6'5".
I'll make sure I bring a ruler or some type of measuring something so I can just make sure.
A ruler?
And I'm thinking to myself, like, girl, I'm a tall girly, so I know, but I'm just like, girl, if he's over 6'3", I mean, come on, like, do it really matter? Like, does it really matter? Because I'm telling you, guys lie about their height a little bit more than that. Talking about they 5'11" and they 5'7". Come on. So girl, you are so good. You are good. But anyway, she's like joking about bringing a ruler, this and that. So, you know, that's their whole little thing. But come on. He tall. So the first episode is basically all their first dates, them showing up and meeting each other for the first time since dating virtually. So first up is Charlie and Jared, and they have this like little pottery date or whatever. They're very happy to see each other. You know, she twirls around, whatever, shows her BBL or whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Do a little spin, mommy.
Oh, it's the booty.
Oh, shit. Yeah, it's there.
Okay.
Jared says that she's everything that he wants in a woman, and all the good vibes were there with them. At one point, she does joke about his feet, like while they're, you know, doing the pottery or whatever. She just does joke about his long ass feet or something.
Got some long ass feet. Don't.
my feet. Don't talk about my feet.
And then she realizes like, oh shit, like I have long feet. Like he can say the same thing to me. But I was like, okay, well, whatever. Even I was like, girl, look who's talking. I mean, she's tall too. So I mean, it's kind of like, you know, it evens out. You a tall girl, you gotta have long, big feet. Like it's as simple as that. You gonna fall over. We can't have you falling over. So. And then next up is Cinco and Jay. So they finally meet. And Jay is like, oh yeah, my love language is acts of service, you know, so.
I just realized
acts of service is my thing. I wanted to put a smile on his face. I didn't need him to plan a date. I got it.
Not giving it. Granted, I know obviously love languages can go both ways. Like for me, for example, my love language is acts of service, but it's also receiving gifts. But I also like giving gifts to those who I care about. But still, I was just like, girl.
Okay, I mean, to each his own, but he should definitely be planning the first date. Like, I don't know about that, but because I'm just saying, like, to me, that kind of sets the tone. Like, which I mean, I guess if she's okay with that, but I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some points where she's gonna be like, well, you know what, you can plan the date, you know, here and there. But that's all I'm saying. You set the tone. But anyway, to each his own, like I said. But anyway, she planned this like little loving basketball thing, whatever. And then they had pizza afterwards.
When you walked up, what did you think, like, of me?
I'm glad you ain't catfish me.
And I was just like, well, tell me you achieved date without telling me you achieved date. I mean, that's what I got from it. That's what I got from it. Like, in my opinion, that's cool. That date is cool if y'all been dating for a while in person. And y'all have been dating and seeing each other in person. But y'all haven't been seeing each other in person. Like I said, this is pizza date, this love basketball date, it's cool. Because I've done it before too. I've done it before, but I've known the person for a while. Yeah, not on the first date. It's just, I don't think something as chill as this would work. But hey, they already kind of, you know, going off on their own little path anyway, other than the other couples. I'm not gonna get into that just yet, but if that works for her, that's okay. Anyways, there's good vibe there. He jumps on her a few times, they kiss, and she sees obviously that he is indeed taller than her, so he passes that test. Because us tall girls, we got that tall, like a lot of times we can tell in a photo, like we can just tell, you know what I mean? So we know how to pay attention to how a tall guy says or thinks that he's tall. So we got that tall arm. And then there's Brittany and Ty, and they go on like this cute parasailing date, super fun. Like they got the views, they got the sun, they got the ocean, the birds. It looks super fun. Like I was jealous. It looks really fun. So there's a lot of good vibes there.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, buddy.
And we go to Kiki and Brandon. Kiki is the plus size. I want to say she's like a BBW model or something like that. But anyway, he planned a date to basically get her in some booty showing lingerie at a photo shoot. And I'm like, for a first date? Once again, like this, no. This is complete opposite of what Jay and Cinco were doing. Like they were doing too little. This is doing too much.
I love taking pictures, but why do you have my booty out on the first date?
It was just a little weird. Like not him trying to get her booty ass naked on a bed, take photos of her on the first date. But you know, eventually she seemed into it. It was okay with it.
Are you coming?
Oh.
So whatever. And after the shoot, they end up having a little dinner date, and there's wine on the table, and you know he's pouring her wine or whatever, and she's just like, oh my gosh, like I need some more wine, like I need some more, I need to calm my nerves and blah blah blah. And then Brandon, he goes,
Are you a drinker?
Brandy, I'm working on it.
You working on it?
I'm working on it.
That's good.
That's good.
her saying that, I mean, that's kind of like, it's kind of like almost admitting you're gonna have a problem. But anyway, he did not like that response. He did not like that response at all. He comes at her a bit, and she argues that, well, you know, you didn't even give me a full glass. And I'm thinking to myself, like, girl, this is not a glass of OJ where you fill it up to the rim. This is a wine glass. Like, come on. But when she says that, he says, oh, okay, well, we can work through that. And I'm just like, okay. And then we got Alicia and Erwin. They have a Haitian, I want to say it's like a Haitian copa dance or something like that. Some kind of dance class where this particular dance is very sensual. It's very like touchy. It's very, you know, looking into each other's eyes, eye locking, all that type of stuff. This is a date where we had to touch on each other in a way that I'm not comfortable with. Alicia, she admits that she wasn't really comfortable with it, like getting that close to someone, especially like when you're first meeting them. She said that, but I mean, overall, I think she did pretty well. Like the date went really well, and they vibed really well on the first date. And then we got Tatiana and Clevassier. What the Clevassier? They go on a horse riding date. Where they go at? Oh yeah, they went on a horse riding date in the Malibu Hills, which was really nice. And they end up with a picnic date like after the horse riding date. Or the horse riding part. She mentions that she's vegan, and he's like, oh yeah, you know what, you know, I wouldn't mind changing my, you know, my lifestyle, you know, to eat that way. And she's just like, oh no, you don't really have to do that, you know. Being vegan, I mean, because it's possible for couples, like one half of the couple to be vegan and not vegan. It is possible. It's just that, you know, I think the person who doesn't eat vegan, they have to be open to sometimes eating vegan, which I completely is fine. Like I've had friends where, you know, they were vegan and I would eat vegan food every now and then. I'm not a vegan, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with eating vegan food every now and then. He continues on to say like, damn, I can see myself looking up to your beautiful face every day. Everything's going good. But there is a moment where he tries to, you know, bring her in closer. He's like, come closer. And he's trying to, you know, get in there and get the kiss, right?
Let's just hold hands.
Okay, we can do that.
And Tatiana's like, okay, hold on, you know, I'ma just she shuts it down. She shuts it down. She said it very sweetly though, but she shut it down. She was just like, hold on, Clavassier, like, hold on, you gotta do a little bit more. You gotta earn this kiss. You gotta do a little bit more before I pass the Clavassier. Okay, pretty much. Like, you gotta do a lot more to earn that kiss. Lastly, there's Alexis and Chris. They have like a Sunset Beach.
I'm having trouble understanding right now. Please try a little later.
Ain't nobody asked you nothing, Alexa. Anyway, maybe I should say her name. So, a little bit lower. Anyway, so we have Alexis and Chris, and they have a Sunset Beach date. It's very beautiful, very nice. On the date though, she's just like, don't you owe me something? Like, don't you owe me a public apology?
Wait, don't you owe me something?
I'm lost.
Because apparently we found out that they had stopped talking because he started dating someone local, and I guess he kind of just like stopped talking to her, stopped texting her, and kind of just faded away or whatever. But obviously it didn't work out because he came back. So he apologized for that, and you know, it seems real and genuine or whatever, and yeah, they end up having a good rest of their date. Now later on, Jay, she is like, you know, I'm sleeping with, I don't know why I was gonna say Cisco. She's like, I'm sleeping with Cinco in his king bed because obviously I'm not a tiny person. I cannot really fit comfortably in that queen bed that's in the girls' room, because apparently the men, they have the king's bed, and the girls, they have queen's bed, a queen size bed. And she's like, you know what, I'm gonna sleep with Cinco in the men's bed because, you know, I'm not a small person. In addition to that, she also decides that, okay, you know what, I also need to see what his member does, the picture what that third leg do. So it is no secret that they got in the shower and they did the do.
Me and Cinco have been talking for 5 long months. He's a man. Men have needs as well as ladies. Why not get it over with now? Because what if you're not compatible?
She had to see what to do, you know, like ahead of time. So I was like, okay. So they do that the same day that they met, that they had the 11-day basketball date. They got it in. Then we see production talking to Charlie, talking about as she's pumping breast milk for her newborn baby. Yes, her newborn baby. And she's telling production like, yeah, I really need to tell him this and that. So after that, after she's done breast pumping, she grabs Jared and she's like, you know, I gotta talk to you. And she ends up telling him that, you know, she has a 1-month-old at home. And we learned that she told him that she was having hernia surgery when she was actually giving birth.
When I told you I had hernia surgery, I was literally giving birth.
And I'm like, what? So obviously he's blindsided. He's just like, whoa, wait, what? Obviously he's blindsided and realized it makes sense because all of a sudden they went from talking to 2 to 3 times a day to 2 to 3 times a week. So yeah, she tells him that she has a 1-month-old at home. But wait, there's more. There is more. Yes, there is more. So she then tells him that she also has 2 extra kids. Because initially she only told him that she had 1 kid, which is a 12-year-old, I think. But we find out, she tells him that, oh wait, hold on. I got 2 other kids that I didn't tell you about. They are 7 and 5.
I have 2 other kids that are 7 and 5.
And I'm like, girl, why did you even lie about the first 2 kids? Like, I'm confused right there. Why didn't you initially tell him you had 3 kids? Like, to me, I'm just like, this whole dishonesty and lying thing, I'm just like, y'all were technically, retroactively, it's like y'all were already starting it off awful. You already starting off lying. Like, it's just a mess. I'm like, why did you even lie about those other 2? Like, you know what? I'm just like, I'm sorry. There's so many things I'm like judging you as a mother. Like, you lied about those 2 kids. You lied about having a newborn, about being pregnant. You said you were having hernia surgery when you were really giving birth. Like, girl, not even, you know, not even just those 2 things, but girl, you are on this show right now. Where your newborn baby at? Where is the baby daddy at? Who is what? How that breast milk gonna get to the baby? Like, it's just so many questions. I got so many questions. It's like, this is just so ghetto. Like, what? I'm like, what? Hold on. But wait, there is more. There is more. Jared says that he has his own secret as well. And then of course, you know, the episode ends and it goes into episode 2, right? Jared tells Charlie that he has a 6-month-old at home.
I just had a kid too, dude.
What?
Yes. So basically he told her the same secret that she just told him. Yes, you heard that correctly. You heard that correctly. She said she has a 1-month-old at home, and he just told her that he has a 6-month-old at home. And it just immediately it goes to the Charlie's confessional. She's like, oh my gosh, like I feel betrayed. Like I feel like I usually know when, you know, something's off and this and that. And I'm thinking like, girl, both of y'all ain't shit. Y'all both just lie about the same shit. You do realize that, right? I mean, I get it, her being mad, her feeling betrayed, but you really can't, no one can really have one up on each other. Y'all both ain't shit. Like it's that simple.
I'm actually very happy. I mean, happy in a sense that she shared her secret first. I was like, oh, bet, I got something for you too.
This is a ghetto. This is so ghetto. Like, I don't even use this word because people be using it wrong all the time. But this is some like diabolical type of shit. Like, this is crazy. Like, this is just some ghetto ass. Like, I can't. Oh, and Jared already has a kid too. But of course, Charlie already knew about that kid. So he has 2 kids. So you know what? It's like, hold on a second. Let's do the math. So that's that one, the new 6-month-old. I'm sorry, that one, see, it's too many damn kids. It's that 1-month-old she just confessed about, plus the 2 other kids she confessed about, the 3-year-old or the 7-year-old and the 5-year-old. And then you got the other one that he already knew about, the 12-year-old. And then that's 4. That's 4 right there. And then you got his that he already had. And then you got this second one, this 6-month-old he just confessed that he had. That's 6 kids. Like, that is 6 kids. That's like a whole ass Brady Bunch. Like, I just can't. Like, the dishonesty, the ghetto-ness, the dishonesty, the Brady Bunchness, the dishonesty. Like, it's just crazy. Honestly, it's really disgusting too. I'm just like, damn, y'all really kind of are for each other. This is some toxic ass shit. This is some toxic stuff right here. Obviously, they do the math, and Jared is like, that's a lot of damn kids. Like, I don't know. He's basically like, I don't know. And then she's just like, well, try. You gotta try. And I'm just like, bro, what?
Stop right there, please. Just try.
What? I'm like, girl. I'm also like, boy, though. Like, y'all, come on. I can't. Like, I do not want this love at all. Like, this love tried to take me down too at some point. But I put that love in a chokehold and just threw it over the cliff. And I was like, no, this is not my journey. No, that's not for me. Like, this is like some real diabolical shit. This is horrible for real. And then going to Alicia and Erwin later on, Erwin wants to sleep with Alicia. Not sleep with her, but literally just sleep with her. And be close to her in her tiny ass queen size bed. And, you know, obviously she's more traditional. She has boundaries, especially due to her autoimmune disease. So like her whole lifestyle is a lot more cleaner. She's just very particular about who she lets in.
I was diagnosed with the autoimmune condition dermatomyositis in March of 2022.
She doesn't really want the physical connection to take over, pretty much, and, you know, get things a little blurry and things like that, which is completely understandable. As he walks out, and he's obviously not happy, and he even like goes to say that, oh, she has this hard exterior up and this and that, and I'm just kind of like, whatever. Like, oh, she's like, all right, good night. Because when they're talking about it, they're just kind of laying in bed talking, and she's like, all right, good night, bye, good night.
I've never kissed her. If it were to happen, maybe she would soften up a little bit, but I feel like she just has a hard exterior.
Like, I don't know, these dudes these days, like, they be acting like if you don't sleep with them on like, obviously they've been dating. I think they were dating for like 3 months though, virtually. That's not that long. I mean, 3 months dating in person is completely different. 3 months of dating virtually. And also you gotta consider, obviously she's traditional too. So, but yeah, he's like, oh yeah, she has a hard exterior or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, like, that's the wrong with these dudes these days. Like, it's like, if you just say like, okay, I'm not trying to sleep with you. Oh, you don't like me. You don't like me. Like, God forbid, like, we don't even know if you allergic to anything. We don't even know what your favorite color is. Oh, you don't like me. Like, I'm saying this from experience. Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like, the dating world is just, it's hard out here, y'all. Like, I can't even laugh after that, but it really is hard. But yeah, basically, just because y'all been dating virtually does not mean she's ready to hop into bed as soon as she sees you in person. Like, it's just that simple.
Well, don't use all your lotion tonight. I'm just playing.
Next morning, they have like this intimacy painting activity, which I think they did something like that on the first season too. I want to say they did. I can't remember. But, you know, they would do these different intimacy activities to get close to each other, build that intimacy, that connection between them. Anyway, so they do that and they have to do their swimsuits. And first off, Brittany's kind of like, you know, like, I'm really feeling really nervous about my body, you know, since giving birth to her 3-year-old. And plus, you know, Ty hasn't seen her, in a swimsuit, seen her body like that. So she's feeling like, you know, really insecure about it. And then they show Ty and I'm like, girl, girl, you bad as fuck. You just fine, okay? You are just fine. And the activity is basically about consent. So, you know, you're asking, do you mind if I touch you here? Do you mind if I paint your body here? Do you mind if I, or do I have permission to touch you here? Basically, it's about consent. And, you know, a lot of the couples, they painted, you know, meaningful things, which was cool. Like Jay painted a tree on Cinco to represent family tree because, you know, they talked about having kids together. So obviously that means, you know, extending the family tree. I thought that was really cute. Brittany painted the eye of Ra on Ty to represent strength. But Alexis failed at asking permission when touching Chris. It honestly, you know, I'm laughing, but it was really kind of disturbing. She was groping him with the paint. At one point, you can see her, like her paint handprints. You can see them on his privates and on his booty cheeks. I mean, obviously he's wearing pants, but they're like right there in the front and right there in the back. It was too much. It was way too much.
I don't see no big deal here.
That might become a problem if she has control issues.
You know, so I thought he peed on himself.
And then they show a past video of them, you know, on a video meeting day before they even met. And she tells a story about, you know, when she was with her ex, I guess his eyes were following, you know, some girl who was walking past them, follows her ass, right? And she said that she put her fist right next to his face as his head is facing this way, so that when he turned back around, it would hit her fist. And when I saw that, I was like, oh no, that's a red flag right there. I mean, granted, obviously he shouldn't have been doing that anyway, but I'm like, okay, yeah. I was like, yeah, she a bit much. Like, no, she a bit much. It's almost like, I don't know, she's just kind of immature in a way. Like, it's just like, it's the groping when during the painting activity. I mean, and granted, I'm telling you, if the tables were switched, I'm telling you, it would be a huge issue for Chris if he was doing all that. Just saying. But yeah, I was just like, girl, I can see why you're 47 and single. And Chris even admits that she has control issues. Like, it's just, it was a whole thing. Anyway, oh my gosh, he even went as far as painting the stop sign on her back.
Put a stop sign on her back.
I was like, okay, that's petty, but that's funny. That was funny. He painted a stop sign on her back for this activity. I thought that was too funny. Then you got Jared painting zebra stripes on Charlie because she biracial.
Got the black stripes because she's my little zebra. And,
okay.
You know, she's black and white.
Anyways, and then Alicia was feeling kind of weird about the whole activity and touching, but she got through it. Erwin almost did have a slip up though with, you know, disclosing her autoimmune disease to the group, but she was not comfortable with, but she shut it down quickly, and it didn't happen, which was good.
She's going like through like a certain journey.
And then later on, we see that the couples, they basically make dinner for the house I think it's each episode or each night, whatever. They make dinner together for the whole house. And Brittany and Ty are cooking. Alicia comes in and she's like, I'm vegan, so like I need vegan oil, I need vegan butter, I need vegan water.
So do I need to do vegan butter?
Yes.
Oh, she didn't say that, but you know, cook with my food. And Ty's like, he pretty much yells at her. It's like, hold on. We cooking for the whole group. It's not just you. You know, I'm not gonna, you know, walk on eggshells just because you need this, you need that.
You gotta use vegan butter. You gotta use this and that. No, we trying to cook right now.
You're yelling at me, Ty.
Granted, Brittany was okay with it. Brittany was like, oh yeah, you know, I can cook you a little small, you know, thing, you know, aside from that, in, you know, in whatever foundation that, you know, you need to eat. So she was completely fine with it. But Ty was the one who went off. And I was like, and he was really rude. And I was like, okay, that's a little too alpha male for me. I was like, he was just rude about it. He was rude. And I wasn't okay with that. He was like, this isn't even my woman. I'm not allowed to cater to her, blah, blah, blah. He was just doing too much. Alicia goes to tell Erwin what happened. And guess what Erwin says?
It sounds like she was the aggressor in this situation. Her tone or how she talks to people can be considered bossy.
He basically shut down her feelings and does not stand up for her. He did not have his back. And I was just like, what the hell? Yeah, no. He did not have her back at all. And that was, no. I wasn't okay with that. I wasn't cool with that. And granted, I love when a man who can put me in my place and tell me when I'm wrong, but this was not that situation at all. He did not need to come at her like that. So therefore, Erwin should have said something to him. If she wasn't gonna say something to him, he should have said something to him when she went to go tell him. That's all I'm saying. We go to Alicia and Chris, and they're talking about the painting activity, right? And Alicia's like, you know what? I don't know. I feel like you were disconnected and this and that. You weren't really listening to me. You were disconnected. And I'm like, what is she talking about? She says that during the painting activity, he wasn't rubbing the paint on her slow enough.
But then when you come to my leg and you just like this, instead of it just being like,
oh. Girl, what? Like, tell me you like to argue without telling me you like to argue, pretty much. That's what I got from that. Like, it made no sense, which is another check off of like, okay, yeah, she's immature. Like, she just gives me immature vibes. Like, this just proving my point. So during this time also, Erwin happens to see that Alicia and Brandon, I know it's a lot going on, y'all. It's a lot going on. but it's a full day. But anyway, Erwin sees that Alicia is doing yoga with Brandon, and he immediately gets upset because apparently the day before he had asked, like, oh, do you want to do yoga tomorrow?
You want to do yoga tomorrow?
Not necessarily. I want to wake up whenever my body calls me. Yeah.
And then he sees that she's doing yoga with Brandon. So he was upset about it. And I'm not gonna lie, I get him. I completely understand him being upset. Like, he was completely valid on that. I get that. Like, you're taking away, you know, the time that we could have together that I asked you for the specific activity. You're doing it with this other guy. Like, what? So I completely get it. Although I don't think she really understood, because she was like, oh, you know, are you sure it's not your insecurities, this and that? And I was like, ooh.
You don't think that was a part of insecurity?
No, it's not. It's about, like, doing something like you didn't do for me.
That was bad right there. And then so dinner is finally ready, and Jared and Charlie, they had this conversation because Charlie wanted to tell everybody about their situation. And I'm like, why you want to make a big deal out of it? That's y'all business. Like, why you gotta make a big huge announcement? But that's exactly what they did. They make this big huge extra kid project announcement about it at dinner.
I honestly would have kept it in between us because that's our business, but she shot me that look across the table.
You know, so they find out, you know, obviously she really has 4 kids instead of 1. And everyone is just like looking around at each other like, what?
I have a 12, which he didn't. We went from 2 kids to 6 overnight, so.
But I mean, it was overall good feedback. You know, people, they didn't really get into, you know, the actual feelings.
That's crazy.
You applied on the show pregnant?
If you came on here talking about you had a 1-month-old, you don't got 1 kid, you got 4 kids.
It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Alicia was like, I guess they made for each other. Later on, we see that Clevassier and Tatiana, they go to the intimacy suite. Not necessarily, obviously not to do the boom boom. You know, it's just to be intimate, get some quiet, you know, be in privacy and talk and things like that. She asked him to, like, you know, she's referring to Jared and Charlie's situation. She's like, hey, like, you know, if something like that happened, would you be honest and tell me? And he responds with,
I think I would. I would just want to, like, make sure I tell you with the right timing.
Which in translation, and this is not just my interpretation, translation, this is really what men mean when they say, oh, I'll tell you at the right time. Translation, it means that he's going to tell you on his own time, which could be any time between late as hell and never. Like, I'm so serious. I know this from experience. So yeah, that could be at any point from where it's too late as hell to never. So that's basically what he told her. You know, I don't know if I'm really going to ever tell you. I don't even know if I'm going to tell you. But, and then we find out that Clevassier has a secret of his own. He got a secret of his own, y'all. And it's very similar to Jared and Charlie. Like,
I have a newborn child that she does not know about.
And did he tell her at that moment? No, he did not. No, he did not. He did not even tell her at that moment. I'm telling you, they either tell you late as hell, anytime between late as hell and never. Anyway, the secret is that Clevassier has a newborn. I don't think I remember how old this newborn is, but the fact it's a newborn. The newborn is less than a year old. Like this shit is just so ghetto. Like, just like really, that's some diabolical shit. Like I said, I don't even use that word, but this is that. This is that. This is some ghetto shit. I can't. And then later on, we see that Chris and Jared, they have a one-on-one. Chris kind of opens up about his past.
I done had 9 step parents combined.
I'm like, damn, 9? I'm like, was your mama just like dependent on a man? Was she insecure? I had so many questions. Yeah, but yes, he said, so there was basically, she got me remarried several times. So basically that, to me, that sounds like, okay, there's men coming in and out. And I'm just like, whoa. And basically he was saying that, you know, he's had issues with those step-parents trying to control him. And also I think with his biological dad too, trying to control him too. And he always told himself like, okay, from there on, when I was a grown up, I'm not gonna be controlled. And that's funny because that's exactly what Alicia is doing. Like, she's very controlling. She's not even asking consent on a lot of things. She's just doing whatever the hell she want to do. And Jared points out that she is Jamaican, so that might be why she kind of has this hard exterior controlling personality.
I remember her saying that she comes from a Jamaican background. She's coming from that hard exterior. So
that's a good point. And so Chris, you know, he takes that. He's like, okay, I mean, he agrees. And then here we go, back to Erwin and Alicia. Erwin, you know how like you somebody says something and I guess, you know, you don't really say how you feel at that moment. Plus you also might not even be thinking that. You're just like surprised and taking it in. Anyway, he comes back to her basically very upset, like very upset. And his delivery is just so rude and off-putting.
I'm not really feeling you right now.
Okay.
I don't know what it is about you. I don't know if you can read me, but you can't seem to catch a hint for nothing.
And he basically says, like, you know, he's not feeling her and that she can't catch a hint. And he feels insulted by the fact that she mentioned that it was his insecurities, you know, coming, you know, to the forefront when he was talking about, you know, being hurt about the yoga thing with Brandon. He's not really talking to her, like he's talking at her. And it's just coming off very rude. It's coming off very rude, very not demure at all. He like abruptly gets up to leave and when she says she's feeling unsafe. it's funny because as he gets up to leave, he also says,
I'm not one to like just walk away from a conversation, but
people usually do say that, like, it's obvious that he is exactly the one to get up and leave abruptly from a conversation. So I thought that was kind of funny. Anyways, that's kind of how it ends. I think I'm gonna do 2 episodes at a time. So this is obviously episode 1 and 2. So next will be 3 and 4. Let me know what y'all think, and I'll see y'all next time.